So, good evening. I, over the last week, have acquired so much stuff from Freeleague. You wouldn't believe it. They have brought out a couple new free pre-orders, and one of them is already here on the screen, which I'm going to have a quick flick through. And I already played this, actually, today with my family around the table. One of the scenarios. And another one that just came out today, and I sort of was vaguely aware that it was coming, but it's really cool that it came out so quickly, is the Vaesen one, called the Lost Mountain Saga. So I'm going to have a quick look at both of these. And just to flick through, I'm trying to keep it spoiler-free, but of course there might be pictures and headings and so on that might be a bit spoilery. So just make sure that if you're completely spoiler-free, leave me a chat message right now, say absolutely no spoilers, please, and I'll try my best. But yeah, I'm also very excited about this because tomorrow I'm going to the UK Games Expo, and I'm going to see the Freeleague guys there. I'm sure I will be hanging out at the store for a little while and explore what they've brought with them. I'm not sure there's going to be much in the way of anything that I haven't got yet, but if you think about the stuff that they have recently brought out, just beyond this, the Symbaroum Foundry modules, for example, yeah, which I hope to actually have a look at, is the complete saga. The whole Throne of Thorns, Wrath of the Warden sort of thing, whole campaign book, which I all have here, now basically on Foundry, apart from the last part, which is promised and will come. And I can't even remember all the stuff that the Book of Beasts has recently arrived, and the Blood March and the Foundry for it, and all that stuff. It's a complete flood coming out of them. The Walking Dead beta, of course, which I have been looking at for a little bit, adds to that as well. Right, so let's start with the One Ring. Now, the One Ring is a game that I've played a few times now, and I do quite like it. And it's the first time now I've run it. I've run the starter set with my family. And after the starter set, we decided, okay, we think we could do a little bit more of this. And it's nice actually to get the kids around the table and my wife to play this. So that's rare. And when this book came out here, I thought, oh, you know what? This might actually be better suited for us playing together than the Runes of the Lost Land, which is also really good, but it's more sandboxy. This is more structured. And that's what because I had limited time to prepare it all, I thought this is the better way to do it. So, what's this all about? I think the cover art is really, really cool. But basically what this is about is you have a set of adventures, six adventures, which you can tie together, but you can also run independently. And they are set here in Eriador. So you've got this beautiful map again. And the first one took us, starts in Brie. I can tell you that much. Yeah, so right there, it's a bit small on the map, I appreciate that, but right there in Brie. And you take on a mission, there's a friendly dwarf coming into the prancing pony and asking for some helpers, and basically my 3 players went along with him. And it's a nice little self-contained story, nicely written. A couple of things where you just say, how's that going to work out? But let's say we had some fun battles today, and it was one of them went down and I had to look up exactly how the wounds and wounding and healing and so on worked. But beyond the content, as I said, I'm trying to keep it spoiler light, if not spoiler free. You have the beautiful design again. You know this very much from the core rules. Same sort of layouts. It seems to be the current layout that they've got these columns on the at the beginning, and you have some beautiful art in it. Yeah, I don't want to dwell on it too much. You've got art for characters in here. You've got art for... We know this stuff, that Freeleague are really, really good with this. This one, for example, is the site, the adventure site for the first one. It didn't come, as far as I could tell, with a player version of this map, like one without the labels on it, which I thought was a bit of a pity. But you get some really cool stuff here. And the big artwork, I just want to have a poster book. And can you actually see that misty figure here in the mountain? Have you spotted that yet? Yeah, it took me a moment to actually spot her. A lady there. But really cool. Really cool. So you've got 6 adventures, and they basically go from one thing to the other. They take you around Eriador. They do tie together a little bit, but you don't have to play them necessarily together. You can just pick one out. You always have a scenario, you have the scenes, you've got the events, so very much typical Freeleague stuff. High production quality. I'm really, really pleased with this. You've got the hex map at the end for any travels you want. Of course, this is not new. That has been published before, as far as I know. Yeah, very appealing. And I can just say here, the index that you get, very useful, especially in the core rules book, because I was playing that today. So the index is lovely. You may think it's not sexy or anything, but having a good index for me is really, really important. So that's the first book. Any questions about it, then please put it in the chat. Hello 3P, hello Money. If you have any question about this beautiful book here, if you pre-ordered currently, I have to say this is not an advert because I don't get any pay from anybody on this. If you pre-ordered, you get the PDF pretty much right away. So, One Ring, yes, Money. I've been playing it today with my family, and after having this for a week, and yeah, we had some fun. Yeah, it's actually still a little bit tricky on the rules because it's quite different for me. But I think I got through it without too much, and I rolled really, really well. Not as well as my daughter, mind you. So that's the one. The other one that is pre-order that just came out today, and I actually was slightly surprised because I sort of was aware that it was coming, but yeah, it was a bit of a surprise anyway. Adventures in Middle-earth. I haven't played that one, but I normally try to stay clear of anything that's D&D related. Not because I hate it or anything, but just because I had some not great experiences with D&D, let's put it that way. And I think it's more down to the players than the rules, actually. So this is the other one. Vaesen. One of my definite favorite games. And this is a lady by the name of... Where is it? Elinor Di Lorenzo. Apparently she is from Sweden but lives in the States. And she wrote a little campaign trying to encapsulate the feeling of Sweden and things like that. But an interesting thing is she got Freeleague to produce this. So we have some of the maps being done by the same guys, Christian Granat here, for example, and the graphic design by the same guys. We have some of the same people involved. Doug Shoot here for streaming, we know him. But some of the artwork, I have to say, is recycled. Some of it is original, some of it is recycled. And what she's basically trying to do in this adventure, if you read the preface, is she's trying to play a little bit on cultural things. So she's talking about fika, for example, which everybody who knows Sweden knows something about. She's talking about having the often romanticized... I should zoom in onto the preface. I don't think there's any spoilers in here, so let's have a look on here. So, as a Swede living in the United States who mostly plays with Americans, the Lost Mountain Saga was a way for me to bring everything that excites me but my own culture and customs to the table. I like that. There's some genuine, I want to communicate something about my identity. And I can really relate to that as somebody who's also living away from their own country. So from the sacred ritual of fika, which is like a snack time, to the often romanticized Viking heritage, hello Vikings, to some of our questionable political movements, which is actually the history. When I started looking at a scenario of Vaesen as well, I was actually really surprised about the approach of the Protestant church at the time towards the Catholics and how very, very strict that was. Very interesting. So that's what she's trying to put into this. And she says there's a rule of fun and there's a rule of horror, having what's the most interesting or most horrific thing that could happen right now. Good evening. Yeah, Santa, I'm trying to, because I've got some holidays, so I need to keep myself busy. So this is this book. And again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stories, mysteries, and they all hang together. So they escalate. Again, I'm trying not to spoil too much at it, but I'll just briefly show you on the map, which is early on. It takes you... Where's the map? Yeah. Basically, there are, if I get this right, these white little spots, a bit hard to say, but it starts in Uppsala, where the society is. Can I zoom in a bit? I'm sure I can for you. So Uppsala, down in the south. And then there's a story in Falun. Then you go, I think, back to Uppsala. Then there's one in Bergen. And then there's one right up north. Actually, yeah, Verroja on the Lofoten Islands. There's one there. And there's one in Abisko, right up north. So you get a bit of variety in this book, and the variety is not just where it's set, but also this. I had a quick read through it, I have to say. I only came out this afternoon, so I've had this for 4 hours. But I had a quick, hello Cassandra, I had a quick look through this. And it seems like a really interesting story. That's all I'm going to say, because I want to play it at some point. I don't want to spoil it for too many people. You've got the artwork in here. You've got some cool things in here. I'm not going to stop everywhere. Here, for example, we've got a piece of reused artwork. It's still pretty. Yeah, doesn't mean we can't look at it again. There are some maps in here. Some of them are not, they are marked actually specifically as not the final map yet. So keep that in mind. This is an early release. But you've got all these grumpy looking portraits. I love them in Vaesen. And sometimes a bit surprised looking here. So you've got a map of a mine, churches, etc., and beautiful artwork. This is reused as well. So, and the structure of this is basically the same as you know from the other books. This book here is 92 pages long, so it's a little campaign. It's not the one that tells us the story of the society that is hinted at as Dance of Dreams. That's what I was half expecting it to be. It's not that one. It's completely separate from this. But this is all based on a campaign that this lady Elinor ran herself. So it's been tested by her group at least, and probably by some others because there were play tests listed. So yeah. Any questions on this, guys? Yeah, I see I've got some German contingent here. Wenn ihr Fragen habt, sagt Bescheid, ne? Aber ansonsten, yeah, I don't want to spoil too much. Here we get the Viking touch after a little while, the Princess and the Witch. We've got Uppsala again here with a little bit of Viking. Now don't read anything. You're not supposed to be spoiled. And then we've got the final chapter here, the Lost Mountain Saga. Yeah. So it's all about progress mining in rural Sweden. Forskningsstation. I'm pretty sure that means Forschungsstation in German, which is research station. Which reminds me of Station 18. So, and of course, beautiful handouts. Sometimes, what do you guys think? Sometimes I actually find this really hard to read. This one I can just about read. But sometimes I actually need a clear text version of these, especially on Foundry or on screen. Good. So, questions. Over to you guys. What do you want to know about these books or anything else? Yeah, the other things, as I mentioned, that they have recently released is all the Symbaroum modules for Foundry, so I'm looking forward to that, and The Walking Dead, of course, which I have also had the beta rules, and just looked at it in my English channel anyway, on my English YouTube channel, you can find it, the scenario, the survivor scenario. So, Santa or Cassandra or Money or anybody else, feel free to ask. Do you want to play any of these? Do you want me to run any Vaesen for you or for somebody else? Because I have a real itch to run Vaesen again. Actually, I could quite imagine running the Blood March as well, but my 3 dwarves, they don't want to... 4 dwarves, sorry. They don't actually want to go to the Blood March. They want to stay in Ravenland. How much horror? I think... From what I've seen, there's horror in it, but it's also has got its light moments. So it's a bit of a mix. I don't think it's a really gritty horror, but there's definitely things that can go wrong and that can escalate. So I would rather like to play Tor, the One Ring. It's actually another pre-order that Freeleague have just done, which is the new, what is it called now? It's not called Adventures in Middle-earth anymore, is it? What is it called now? Their version of Adventures in Middle-earth. Is it Middle-earth role-playing or something like that? Lord of the Rings role-playing? That's what it is, isn't it? Lord of the Rings role-playing. So for that, they basically have got new books out, which I will have a look at this weekend, because tomorrow I'm going to Birmingham for the UK Games Expo. So if anybody here sees me there, feel free to say hello. And yeah, the One Ring is really good fun. And I've got all the old stuff. I've got all the first edition, the One Ring as well. So I've got so much material I could run years of a campaign. But seriously, if you want to play it at some point, I could try and read up on it. When am I ever going to play the other games? Another one I definitely want to run is the Walking Dead. I want to try that out. But yeah, if you want to look at Walking Dead, I can do it now. Or you can look at my other videos. I think I put out 4 videos on my English channel and 2 videos on my German channel. One with a special guest, right? Right, Santa? So I think I'll feel free to chat anymore. But other than that, that's what I wanted to show you today. Who is tired here? Sorry, I've just got rid of my PDF. I didn't mean to do that. So who feels like a zombie here? Oh, you're tired of zombies. You're not feeling like a zombie. Right. Remember, there is actually no zombies in The Walking Dead. Yeah, you have to remember that. Those things are never called in the films or TV series zombies. And I don't think they're called that in the comic book either. Don't be embarrassed. That was really nice, actually. It was really nice to just go through some of the rules with somebody there to ask some questions and so on. Makes it so much more interactive. So, I wanted to keep it relatively short. Guys, have you not got anything to do? You've got all these people here, like these brilliant streamers here, 3p, and they're not streaming tonight. They're just watching. Something is amiss in the state of... where are you? Schleswig-Holstein? Oh, I'm coming over, by the way. I'm coming to northern Germany beginning of July. Lord of the Rings role-playing. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, Lübeck. Yeah, I'm going to not come to Lübeck this time, but I might be coming to Lüneburg. Yeah, I could come and visit. I've got friends in Ratzeburg as well, which is not far from you. But I'm out there for such a short time. Well, we'll talk about that, not on the stream, maybe something else. I'm also meeting my brother there, and I might be meeting another friend there, so it could be quite a get-together. And I've had an invitation from Klargor to see him on the way down south as well. Lüneburg is really nice. I studied there at university. Anyway, guys, do you want to chat some more, or do you want to see anything else, like The Walking Dead? Then ask me. Otherwise, I'm going to probably sit back and drink my beer now. So I just wanted to share this, and I wanted to share my excitement of going tomorrow to the trade fair, to the UK Games Expo, and I'm looking forward to seeing some really cool stuff there. Dungeon Fog are going to be there, so I'm going to meet Till and Guy Sklandis. There's a workshop Guy is doing. He can be a bit annoying, but I normally quite like it. There's Ben Aronovich. So I'm taking I have to remember to pack this tomorrow morning. Taking my, did you see it? I don't know, Rivers of London special edition to get it signed by him tomorrow. And maybe by Paul Fricker as well, who's going to be there. Also a really nice game. And yeah, I'm going to be there tomorrow, and I'm going to be there on Sunday, probably. I'm going to play as well. I'm going to play tomorrow Tales of the Old West, which is a Year Zero Western game. And I'm going to play on Sunday, if I make it back to Birmingham, despite the train strikes. Then I'm going to play They Came From Beneath the Sea, which is also really cool. Anyway, NotCon. NotCon is good as well. It's happening, yeah? Because they were still looking for helpers. Anyway, we're really chatting now, rather than doing something for the stream. So, guys, it's been a pleasure having you all here. Yeah, I hope so too. Would be pain for you. Yeah, Urban Operations from Twilight 2000 came out as well. I didn't even mention that, but yeah, you're right. It just came out as well for pre-order. I have bought Twilight 2000. I actually bought the old one when I was sixth form. In 1990 in Munich, I bought a copy of it and was really smitten. We played it maybe 3 times. And then it got lost in a flood, basically. My father's cellar had all my role-playing stuff in it and got flooded. So that's how I had to go out. So I lost that. But I bought the new one. Didn't even open the box set. Because I just said, I'm never going to play this. So I sold it on, and we still have the PDFs. And I think I might dip into it to actually use some of the base building stuff for The Walking Dead. Yeah, exciting stuff. Gosh, you want me to live stream a little bit of an interview from the Freeleague stall tomorrow? Could do that. Anyway, so lots of stuff coming out of Freeleague. I'll see whether I can get a hands-on video at the stall tomorrow and put it as a follow-on to this one. But these are the PDFs I could share today. So for now, everybody, I'm going to bid you farewell and a good night. And I hope that we can chat again soon. Take care, everybody. Selfie with Ben Aronovich, please. I'll see whether he lets that happen. But I'll hopefully get his signature anyway. Or Paul Fricker, I would like him to sign this as well. He's actually the rules writer. And Lynn Hardy, the producer, could possibly get her as well. Maybe I get the full triplet. We'll see. Take care, everybody. Have a good night. Yeah, and may all your pushes succeed. Speak to you soon.